Hi, everybody. Welcome to Bourbon Turntable. We are the show that blends the love of whiskey with the love of music. And tonight we are talking about love songs in particular. We're also talking about Valentine's Day and Valentine's Day cocktails. And we're going to introduce the crew here tonight, including our guests. But first of all, we've got a very special message for you. Pay very close attention.
Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that bell notification. Don't forget to comment if you're watching live in the chat. Leave a comment down below afterwards. Always remember that thumbs up.
All right, Mike, thank you very much for that wonderful service you perform for us each and every show. You're fantastic at that. But with me, as always, is Drew Crawley. Drew, what has happened tonight, sir?
Evening, y'all. Just sitting here enjoying some time with you guys, and had a great Sunday off, which never ever happens for me. So I took a nap and went to brunch today. So
Wow.
Top tier experience.
You're living the life of a East End housewife. Tonight we have two dear friends that I've had the pleasure to know for the last, I don't know, maybe 3 years. And they're just fantastic people. And that is Dave and Adina Ewaldz. Dave and Adina, welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yes. You guys are first big music fans. I know that. And I appreciate that so many of the cocktails that you guys come up with, there was a music themed name behind it. And actually, Dave got me turned back on to Primus a couple years ago with one of his "Shake Hands with Beef." That was awesome. But tell us a little bit about yourselves and personally, and how you got into the whiskey thing.
Well, Dave and I met 1986 on a blind date. And have been together ever since. Then we got married in 88.
Mm-hmm.
And so this year is 34 years.
Despite our musical tastes being kind of
Oh, yeah.
a little divergent, but I like a little bit of everything, and she likes what she likes, and
Yeah.
it works out.
Well, it'll come together at some point, right?
Yeah.
It crosses over.
There's some crossover. All right.
Yeah.
Now, you guys have both been very active in the ABV network, and in particular the cocktail contest. You're pretty dominant in that month in and month out. Talk a little bit about the progression that you've seen for yourselves in that.
Well, when we started doing the cocktail contest, and then the COVID thing hit.
Mm-hmm.
And, for something to do, I was kind of looking forward to doing a cocktail every month, especially Adina, really working hard coming up with, really neat cocktails. And then she really started out with a gusto. And then she challenged me to follow, with my own cocktails to compete. And then there was a few, I started going head to toe with Kevin Rose himself. And we went back and forth with some interesting ones from month to month, I know. And it just kind of grew legs, and really have enjoyed coming up with these crazy cocktails and exploring that.
Yeah. Now, you guys are in Rockford, Illinois, right?
Right.
Yep. Home of Cheap Trick.
Home of Cheap Trick. Yes.
I got to connect it with the music thing.
Yes. I think every time I talk about you being from Rockford, Illinois, you remind me that it's the home of Cheap Trick.
Before I had my beard, I was mistaken for Rick Nielsen on the street a lot. I'm kind of his doppelganger a bit.
All I can hope is that someday I'm on Jeopardy, and the final Jeopardy question is, what town does Cheap Trick hail from? I'm walking away with a lot of money.
There you
That's
go.
right.
It would be thanks to Dave.
Yep.
Mhm.
But, all right, so let's kind of dive in. The thing that we're doing here on Side A is we're talking about Valentine's cocktails, because this is going to be our Valentine's show. So happy Valentine's to everybody out there. If you forgot, hopefully you're listening to the show early in the day. And look at Dave. Yeah, there you go. You're smooth.
Yeah.
That's very smooth.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully you're listening to the show early in the day, and you can make some sort of plan to recover. If you're listening to the show after the fact and you're thinking, oops, well, maybe we can come up with some ideas for you to make up for that huge faux pas. But let's talk about some cocktails. Adina, you've got something fantastic for us here, right?
Okay. I've got one here I'm calling At Last, which might give you a little clue into one of the song choices. And this one is a raspberry base with chocolate bitters. The first thing I'm doing, I'm going to shake it. So I'm going to put a little ice in the shaker. And in that, what I've done, and this is very Valentine's-y, I use a jar and put some handful of organic cocoa nibs in it. Now these organic cocoa nibs don't have any sugar added, so it's just the chocolate flavor. And then I just put some of my favorite bourbon in. And usually with this, I like to use a wheat-based, so like a Larceny or Maker's Mark, just something that's a little smoother. And then all I do is let it sit for a couple days and then strain it. So with that one, I'm going to add 1.5 ounces of this.
What bourbon did you use with that one?
This one was Maker's Mark.
Okay.
And then I've got some raspberry liqueur, the Chambord.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use 3/4 ounce of that. And then 1 ounce of white chocolate liqueur. This is the Trader Vic's brand, but there's several others out there. There's a Godiva one, and I can't remember the other one.
Hard to go wrong with white chocolate and raspberry. I'm over here salivating just watching this together.
And the chocolate and bourbon. Then I've got some chocolate bitters. I'm going to put in a couple drops of chocolate bitters. And while that's going, of course, doing this on recording is fun. I've got some raspberry syrup, and what I did was just mix some water and sugar, put some raspberries in, crushed them and strained them, and I'm just going to rim the inside of the glass with this raspberry syrup. It just makes a pretty edge on the glass. So if you are listening to this and you've forgotten your Valentine gift, this works really well. Or if that's too much trouble, whiskey and chocolate always work too. So I'm just going to give that a little shake to mix it up. Pour it in this glass. And you see how the raspberry syrup on that glass just kind of floats down. And
yeah, that's beautiful.
Thanks, Dave. That's 3D. That's 3D right there. That helps.
That is 3D. And then I can garnish it.
Whoop.
Then he dumps it out.
Until I spill it all over.
I've just put a couple raspberries on top and wipe up Dave's mess.
I'm sorry.
And this one I'm calling At Last because at last we get to drink it.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
And the fun thing about keeping the bourbon with the chocolate nibs, after you strain it and you have the nibs left, they're great in your morning oatmeal.
Oh,
Just
all right, Adina.
Just a little dab, or I put them in banana bread, or we can always upcycle.
You don't want to chuck them away.
No,
No.
that'd be wasting.
Yep.
Put them with some ice cream.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I'm gonna need some bourbon infused chocolate banana bread. I think that's gonna have to happen. You got
That
my
is-
wheels turning over here.
It is wonderful. Some people have put it in cookies, chocolate chip cookies, and add a little bit of that. So.
Okay. Well, it is gorgeous. Thank you for sharing that, and
Cheers.
we will put that in the show notes, so you'll be able to find it and try it yourself. Now, Dave, what do you have, sir?
Okay, well, I've got an easy one. This is another one. I entered actually in a cocktail contest against yours truly. So mine is a bourbony hot chocolate. So this is, everybody's facing the cold winter chill right now, and snow and ice storms and all that. And this is a good snuggle up in front of the fireplace with your sweetie cocktail. So I'm going to build this one. I've got some hot chocolate going on the stove right now, but we're going to start this out with some bourbon. So I've got Stumpy's Old Monroe, which is a good favorite one around here.
You've got me so far.
All right. So we got Stumpy's Old Monroe. Going to throw 2 ounces of that in.
You could
Okay.
stop right there and it's good.
Yep.
So
Done.
Gets better. Okay. Then I've got some bourbon cream.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people that make the bourbon ball cream. So I've got an ounce of that. I'm going to go with. So ounce of bourbon ball. And then we have a wonderful liqueur. It's praline. It's praline liqueur. So it's kind of a pecan praline type stuff. I'm going to go with a 1/4 ounce of that. Little nutty, little sweet.
Yep.
Just like my wife.
Man,
Got that in there.
You're a player. You are a player, Dave. I tell
Give
you
that a
what.
little stir. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to go over to the stove, get the hot chocolate. Bear with me for just a second.
he's also a brave man to say that on a recorded line.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
I see a toothpick that looks pretty sharp.
Yeah. I have my weapon here.
All right. So hot chocolate.
Yeah.
This is just an unsweetened. This is an unsweetened hot chocolate because everything else is sweet enough in there.
Right.
Just like my wife. Give that a stir. This is something you don't even need a mixing glass, or you can just mix it right in your mug. Do a stir. Then what I have here is some praline whipped cream. So I just whipped a little bit of whipped cream with a little bit of the praline liqueur in it. Top it with a dollop of that. Easy cocktail to do on a winter night.
Oh, that's fantastic.
We have that. And then piece de resistance. Got a few pecans. Garnish it.
Excellent.
And there we have it.
Beautiful. Fantastic.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I'll trade you.
All right, I will share one as well. This is one that I put in the ABV cocktail contest for the month of February. It's a little Valentine-ish, I suppose. I call it Blood Sugar Sex Magic, after the Red Hot Chili Pepper song. But it's 1.5 ounces of rum, a 1/4 ounce of barrel-aged tequila, 1/2 ounce of raspberry liqueur. I use the Finger Lakes Distillery liqueur, a 1/2 ounce of red pepper flake simple syrup, and a couple dashes of chocolate bitters. Then I put it in the smoker, and it's quite tasty. Now, tonight I cheated a little bit. I didn't do the smoker just because of the timing. So I used mezcal instead of the tequila to add a little smoke. So
Nice.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
I want you to make me one of those, Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
Sure thing. Come on down. We'll have a cocktail party. How about that?
Okay.
All right.
I got my Valentine's cocktail too. It's just 4 roses.
Well,
Perfect.
you got roses for Valentine's. There you go.
Exactly.
You got it figured out.
Wow.
So when you're thinking of cocktails or spirits or some sort of beverage, adult beverage of choice for Valentine's, what's the kind of thing that comes to mind for you?
It's almost always red wine and champagne in my mind.
Yeah.
You do a nice bottle of red wine if you're eating, red meat, and if you're doing just about anything else, you go with the champagne on that day.
Okay.
It's a good one.
That sounds good too.
Never miss there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else? I mean, you guys have made some really good cocktails tonight that have a bit of a Valentine's feel to them. Anything else from the cocktail world that's more of a standard walk into a bar and order it drink that might serve the same kind of purpose?
I would say probably an old fashioned, good traditional old fashioned, maybe with, upgrade the whiskey in it. And to me, that's the best.
Yeah.
But you think of date night and you're going out and, you have some of those dessert cocktails, you have your Brandy Alexanders and things like that. And, date night cocktails, those are good too.
Yep. Almost anything will do the trick, I guess.
Yep.
But it is nice to have something that's a little special. A good glass of red wine is certainly a good place to start. But sangria, I think a good sangria would be a nice idea on Valentine's Day as well. So I think there are a lot of options there for you. Dave and Adina have offered up a couple of really good ones. I've tossed one out there as well. I will say that red pepper flake simple syrup, it's really nice on the tail end of this of each sip. It kind of gives that little tap on your tongue saying, "Hey, I'm here," which is a lot of fun.
No, that sounds. I'm going to have to make some of that. And
sweet and spicy never fails in a cocktail.
Nope, not at
Kind of
all.
like me, right?
Kind of like you.
All right, I'm spotting a theme for tonight's show.
Are we just here to watch Dave and Adina flirt? I like it.
That's all right. That's all right. But anything else on cocktails or Valentine's drinks?
No, I would say the thing is to just, know what you like and play around with that. If you're a Scotch drinker, there's plenty of Scotch cocktails you can come up with.
Sure. Sure.
Or gin. I mean, gin with the raspberry would make a wonderful combination too.
Yeah. And I think there are some interesting things that flavors that can go well together when you start pulling a liqueur into it. Raspberry certainly does. It can work with some chocolate and a lot of different whiskeys and spirits. So I think, with tequila, mezcal, I think that it fits really well too. So.
Oh, absolutely.
So we got a lot of good options there. So if you want to go to the traditional route of a bottle of red wine or a bottle of champagne, go for it. If you want to try something a little different, show a little effort, make a nice cocktail for your special someone, go for it. They may really appreciate that effort. But we're wrapping up side A of the show, and we're getting ready to flip over to side B. But before we do that, I want to tell you about an event that's coming up soon. It is what we're calling a Tale of Two Stills, and it will be a show that I'll be co-hosting with Alan Bishop, who is the head distiller and alchemist at Spirits of French Lick. and we will be talking with Adam Stump of Stumpy Spirits over in Columbia, Illinois, and Todd Leopold of Leopold Brothers out in Denver. Both these gentlemen have some rather historic stills in their distillery right now. Todd has just last year started producing a 3-chamber rye off of his 3-chamber still, which is something that has not, there's not been a 3-chamber still in operation anywhere since around World War II. And Adam has recently obtained from Belgium a still that is now 100 years old. So he had that shipped over, reassembled it in his distillery over in Columbia, and he's just now getting some spirits off of it. So we're going to be talking with these guys and hopefully getting them to talk with each other and ask some good questions about their stills. So you'll see more about this. Just pay close attention to social media. This will be February 17th at 8 p.m. That is a Thursday night. And so be sure to tune in, tell your friends, because this is, I think, going to be a lot of fun. Educational, entertaining, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of shenanigans too with Alan involved. So, so we'll talk about love songs now, and that's a pretty broad topic. There are a lot of love songs out there. It's the number one topic of songs that have been written throughout all time. But I've got a little list that I wanted to go through with you guys, and then we'll talk some kind of off the cuff about songs that you like, and maybe some songs that you don't, and maybe some of these you like, and maybe some you don't. So I just looked at a couple of lists online of greatest love songs of all time, and these were some that were on a lot of different lists. So we'll just start at the top with Whitney Houston singing the Dolly Parton song, "I Will Always Love You."
Mm-hmm.
Do we thumbs up? Thumbs
Big
down?
thumbs up.
Oh, we've got a split vote in the Ewaldz house.
I would say the Dolly Parton song, "I Will Always Love You."
Mm-hmm.
So you like her version better, huh?
I think so.
Yep.
I mean,
Totally get
Whitney did have a voice. She could belt that out like none other. But
That's probably on my annoying list. Sorry.
too bad.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Unchained Melody by the Righteous Brothers. What do we think of it?
Big thumbs up.
Classic.
Okay.
Big thumbs up.
Is that a sideways? You just couldn't get it.
Yeah, sideways, whatever.
Sideways. Okay.
That was the song we actually danced to at our wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's got a special place there. I like that.
Okay. Well, then I'll like it then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then you
Back the
have
thumbs
to
up.
Okay.
If it starts
like
you guys out for 34 years, it's a good song in my book.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it.
It's doing something right. You need to cover that song, Drew. Then At Last by Etta James.
Oh yeah.
You can't go wrong with that.
I think that
cocktail.
The cocktail and the song.
And the name of the cocktail.
Yeah.
that might be one of one for me. I think
Yeah.
that might just be up there with maybe the greatest love song of all time. Just my opinion, but that one's pretty special.
Yeah, that first lyric, that first, I won't sing it for you, but that first "at last," well, I did sing it for you. It just kind of, boy, it gets you
It's
right from the start.
velvet, just pure
it's
velvet.
So awesome.
Yep.
So awesome. Let's Stay Together, Reverend Al Green.
Yes,
Yeah,
Good one.
big fan.
can't go wrong with
There-
Al Green.
There was a very bad Maroon 5 cover of it a few years ago.
Yes, there was. Yes, but we're talking about the Al Green version. So,
Yes.
Make You Feel My Love, Adele doing a Bob Dylan tune.
Yep. I like
Good.
that one.
Good. Okay, what about the Dylan tune, the Dylan version?
Yes.
I like it.
Come on, Drew.
This is a common theme. You and I have had this discussion before. If Dylan wrote it, I love the lyrics. If somebody else sings it, I like the song. It's just one of those things I can't get over.
Yeah, it is a great song, and
Great song.
and I like the Dylan version just fine. Adele does her wonder with it. Never Tear Us Apart by NXS. Are we a fan? Yeah.
Big fan.
Okay, shrug of the shoulders from Drew and
Yeah, I've never heard it. I don't know that one.
Oh my gosh! All right, so I'm making a note right here.
Yeah,
we're going.
I got homework.
An
I'm
NXS
not sure that I
show.
have.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, it'll be on the playlist now, so you'll have to listen to it then.
Go listen.
Yeah. Big fan of that. There are a few NXS songs. That one's kind of obvious. There are a few others that are kind of sneaky that you need to have on a playlist. I'll just say that.
I agree.
Sea of Love, Honey Drippers, Robert Plant. Are we a fan of that?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. That's pretty smooth. Yeah, that's tough to beat. That's a good one. Love Song by Sara Bareilles.
Never heard it.
Oh, okay. I'll give it a sideways. I'm not normally a big fan, but apparently some people really like it. A lot of people. Love Will Keep Us Together. Now, this is really going back. Captain and Tennille. This is like 1976, 77.
That one's venturing into the annoying territory. It's a classic.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a sideways.
Yeah. We had, when that song came out, it was everywhere. It was one of those songs that it was just, on the, because the only way you're hearing anything at that point was you're either listening to the radio or you're playing your 8-track. Okay.
I think that might have been before the 8 tracks.
But we went on a family vacation to the beach, and that song was, everybody would have their little stereo, little boom box out by their umbrella, and that song was playing all the time. So it's got a soft spot for me just because of the family memory. Otherwise, it would probably be bordering on the annoying side of things as well. Crazy in Love, Beyonce. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Never heard it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, that'll be on the playlist too then. I'm not a big Beyonce fan, but I think that song is pretty darn good. I Can't Help Falling in Love with You, Elvis. Are we anybody Elvis fans? Yeah.
Not a fan.
I'm not really an Elvis
but
fan.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got the voice for it.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Boys to Men, I'll Make Love to You.
Not familiar with that one.
Don't know it.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, don't bother. Okay.
You're not missing too much. The harmonies are impressive, but the song itself is just meh.
Yeah, it's pretty gross. Endless Love, Diana Ross.
Yeah.
The song's kind of annoying, but I love Diana Ross, so I'll give it a sideways. And then How Deep Is Your Love, the Bee Gees. I like the Bee Gees. I do. I'm man enough to admit it too. But I'll get that. I'll get into that. So
I'll say that list is missing one thing.
it's missing a lot of things, but what do you think it's missing?
Anything by Barry White.
Oh, well.
Anything.
Well, that's almost a stereotype at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
But that stereotypes are there for a reason, right? They're there because they're usually true.
It works.
Barry Wright, or Barry, and then you throw in Lou Rawls right after him.
Yeah.
Oh,
You put on some Teddy Pendergrass.
Oh, Teddy Pendergrass, Velvet Voice.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of stuff you can throw in there. So now let's, and this was just stuff that was that was mentioned in several of the lists that I saw. But there's a wide range here. So let's start out being a little positive. What are some other love songs that you really like that, or maybe have some sort of special meaning to you?
Okay,
I can go.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Dave.
Okay, well, this one, if you ever seen the movie Say Anything with John Cusack, where he's Lloyd Dobler and he's outside the girlfriend's house with the boom box held over his head. What song was playing? Was In Your Eyes by Peter Gabriel.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. That's just a terrific love song. Beautiful song.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's got a few of those. So, but yeah, that's a great song and a great scene from a great movie.
In your eyes, the light, the heat. In your eyes, I am complete.
Yes.
Come on.
Yep.
Say it again. This time, sing it a little bit, Dave. And
Oh, you don't want me singing.
No, you don't want him singing.
We'll have Drew sing it, but
Drew, you're going to say something there.
Oh, I mean, I have a list of ones that I love, and some have special meaning, but just throw a couple of them out there. Overjoyed by Stevie Wonder. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that one, but absolutely beautiful. The Way You Look Tonight, the Tony Bennett version specifically. I listen to that all day, every day. Cheek to Cheek off the Ella and Louis album. Ella Fitzgerald and Louis Armstrong. If you're not familiar with that, that is one of my favorite records of all time, and I think that's one of the best love songs. When I was growing up, that one has a special memory because my grandfather on my mom's side just likes to bug the hell out of my grandma on purpose. But there was several times when we would be going to stay with grandma and grandpa, and he'd be in a sweet mood after having pissed her off all day, and he'd go and put that on the record player, and they'd dance in the living room. That was kind of their song.
Awesome.
So I've always loved that one.
Yeah. That's great.
And I have a whole list of ones, but I'm sure you guys do as well. So
yeah. How about you, Adina? What's one or two that you would throw out there that you really like?
My two favorites that were tied were Unchained Melody and At Last.
Yeah.
So those were, I couldn't decide which was my favorite between those two, but I don't know. What have you got on your list?
Well, I got a ton of them. I mean, I go back to old rock and roll in the 70s, 80s, 90s, punk, rock, everything. But In Your Eyes is one of them. You're My Best Friend by Queen.
Yeah,
it's a little bit of an annoying song, but it means a lot to me and Adina. What about Lady by Styx?
Yeah.
Lady's a beautiful one.
I'm very partial to the Dwight Schrute cover from The Office.
Yep. I mean, go to the Beatles a little bit. How about Something?
Yes.
The Beatles Something is a beautiful song.
Would be one of mine.
Paul McCartney by himself, Maybe I'm Amazed.
Yes.
Oh, great tune.
That is
great
a good tune. Yep.
Okay. Hang on just one second before you
go
leave.
ahead.
Great love song. The guitar solo in that is killer.
Yes.
You don't think that in that song, the way it starts out, him on the piano and just kind of crooning, you don't think you're going to get a great guitar solo, but then you get a great guitar solo. So that song is pretty complete in and of itself, as well as being a fantastic love song. Yes. Sorry, Dave. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, yeah. Back to Maybe I'm Amazed or Something. That was one by George Harrison, and the lyrics in that one's just beautiful. Both of those. Couple Beatles faves. Go back to Roots of Rock. You got More Than a Feeling by Boston.
Yep.
That's a good old one. You got one. This one not everybody might know, but Liz Phair. She was from Chicago, guitar goddess. She did one called Supernova. It's a little dirty. I'm not going to talk about the lyrics. This is a family show, but your lips are sweet and sexy like a cherub's bare wet ass. Song's great, and it's the guitars in that thing. They're trampolining back and forth, and if you're not familiar with that song, go listen to it. It's a cool song. Incubus, Dig.
Okay.
That's a good one. Good love song. We'll always have each other when everything else is gone. It's very poignant. Yes. Maps. Where that's a little bit of a love lost one, where Karen O is talking about her lover, and wait, they don't love you like I love you. It's just a perfect line in a love song. Go check that one out. It's just intense. Starts out with just bare guitar, and the crescendo builds during that song, and Karen O's voice is just amazing. Just a couple more. I Want You to Want Me by Cheap Trick.
There you go, from Rockford, Illinois. I heard they're from Rockford, Illinois.
Yeah,
I haven't verified that fact yet, but I've heard that that's where they're from.
What about Flock of Seagulls, Space Age love song?
Okay.
Way back to New Wave.
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
Then last but not least, it's an old John Prine song I recently discovered. It's called In Spite of Ourselves. Go check it out. Go listen to the lyrics. It was brilliant.
I freaking love that song.
Yeah. I mean, just he goes on and on about the girl. She keeps a licking, keeps on ticking, just like the Timex watch. And it's a good song. It's funny.
Okay. It's kind of in vein of some of the ones that you've thrown out. What about The Cure's Friday I'm in Love?
Yeah. It's a good one too.
Yeah. So that kind of fits that whole punk, post-punk,
like that one.
alternative.
Billy
vibe.
Joel, She's Got Away.
Yeah.
Oh, there's plenty of Billy Joel's love songs. I think you can probably. Yeah.
What about?
I've heard you
Fleetwood
sing
Mac?
that. I've heard you sing that, Drew. Yes.
Yeah,
And you do a really good job with it.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Okay. Fleetwood Mac.
Fleetwood Mac, Landslide.
Oh, yeah.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I'm not a Fleetwood Mac fan, but
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, I'd say don't say that around Caitlin.
We don't have that much time, but it's a long story. I'll explain it sometime, and it's
Okay.
It's a stupid reason that I don't like Fleetwood Mac. Okay, I'll just lay that out there. But Landslide is a killer song.
Mhm.
It is really good.
Do you prefer their version or the Dixie Chicks? Adina?
I would have to say probably Fleetwood Mac. Although
Yeah.
Dixie Chicks
That's a respectable version.
did
Yeah.
a beautiful version too.
Mm-hmm. We have some friends that sing a few places around locally, and they do Landslide, and they do a really great job with it.
Mhm.
It's a terrific song. What about Use Me by Bill Withers?
Yeah.
Good one too.
So when now Dave, did you ever make a mixtape to send to Adina? In your years of dating or early years of marriage, when mixtapes were actually a thing?
No, I kept asking for one.
Jeez, I guess I failed at that one.
Well, today's the day, Dave. You've got a whole list of songs at the top of your head.
Get the cassette recorder out.
Yeah.
You could.
I used to be the mixtape guru. In fact, my daughters talk about the mixtapes we used to listen to as I was driving them to school when they're kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand that. Yeah. But now it's easy. You just do a playlist on Spotify or Apple or YouTube or whatever. And so, yeah. So there you go. I think I've just heard, something that your wife might want for Valentine's Day. So now let me ask you this. Do you have a song that's your song? Is that Unchained Melody because that's the song you dance to? Is there something else?
I can't say there's a song that's our song, really. Nah. No.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Now, Drew, you've got a steady gal.
Yeah. So we were actually talking about that earlier today, and we couldn't land on one.
Yeah.
But there's a couple songs that have been significant to us. The song called "Cover Me Up" by Jason Isbell, unfortunately popularized by Morgan Wallen, who I can't stand, but it's a Jason Isbell tune. He does it way better. And then there's a song by a guy named Ben Rector called "Forever Like That."
Yeah.
And so both those songs have played kind of important roles in our relationship. Yeah. So if we had to give it a one, it'd probably be one of those two. But
okay. You see, we went on Cindy and I went on a quest. Well, okay. I went on a quest once to come up with, okay, we don't have a song. We need a song. Okay. Yeah. And at this point, we'd probably been married, I don't know, 25 years or so. Maybe I was trying to find something for our 25th anniversary. And we were going on a trip someplace, and maybe it was for our anniversary. And I pulled together a playlist of all these different songs, and I thought, okay, this one's really good, and I love this one, and that one's great. And so we listened to the whole playlist going down, and it was like nothing really stuck. So it just felt kind of forced to or contrived to come up with one like that. So we don't really have our song either. But I do remember back when our boys played high school baseball, I would work the press box. So I'd keep score and on the book and the scoreboard, and I would be in charge of playing the walk-up music for the players, and then the songs in between innings. So the songs in between innings I would use as an opportunity to flirt and send little messages to her, and so that was
great
fun.
Strategy.
Yeah, that worked. And I think she liked that.
Nice.
Now, what about love songs we hate? We went down this list, and there were some that got a thumbs down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I know there are others that either you hate them because they're just a terrible song, or you hate them because it's just been done to death. Adina, you have anything that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Don't be bashful. Tell us what you think.
That silly love song by Paul McCartney.
Yep.
Oh, that's
silly love songs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
That just grates me.
Yeah, I don't like that one either.
You're just generally, you don't like Paul McCartney.
I like Paul McCartney Beatles.
Yeah.
Okay, what about Maybe I'm Amazed? You don't like that song?
That one's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I do.
Right.
I can say that's okay.
All right. But
that silly love song.
Silly love songs. I can see that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Dave, you have any?
Back in the day, I was DJ at a roller skating rink when I was 15, 16 in high school. Okay.
That is awesome.
That's so cool.
Wait.
Yeah.
You were a god in high school then.
Oh yeah.
you were it.
Talk about being able to date the chicks. You're the DJ at the roller skating rink.
You were the man.
You have the upper hand.
Yeah, I won't say anything because it would be inappropriate. But anyway, moving right along.
When that's like 78, 79, so I'll date myself.
Yep.
The most requested love song for the couples skate back in the day was REO Speedwagon, Keep On Loving You. Can't freaking stand that song because I've heard it 10,000 times.
Yep.
Can't do it.
Yeah, that song sucks. I don't like REO Speedwagon either. And the reason I like REO Speedwagon is I just don't think they're any good. There's no other underlying reason like with Fleetwood Mac. But Keep On Loving You is horrible. It's painful.
That's up there on the top of the annoying list.
What else you have? Anything else?
That's
I know you do.
Yeah, that's the big one.
Mm-hmm. Drew, how about you?
Yeah, this is tough. I'm gonna have to say anything from the catalogs of one Mr. Barry Manilow or Kenny Chesney is a full out for me. Both those dudes can kick rocks as far as I'm concerned. But, I'm just kidding. I'm mostly kidding. But if there was one song that other people like as far as a love song that I can't stand, it's "The Dance" by Garth Brooks. I don't get it. It's weirdly written. It's overdone. I've been to 100 weddings. It feels like that has that song part of it, and I can't get behind it. So yeah, that's not on my positive list.
So I'm gonna pick on Bryan Adams a little bit.
Sure.
And I like Bryan Adams fine. But Everything I Do that's pretty painful to listen to at this point.
Yes.
And then there was a song that he did for some Three Musketeers movie where it was Bryan Adams, Sting, and Rod Stewart. The song was called "All for Love." You know that? Anybody familiar with that song?
I do. I did hear that. Yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible. What about kind of in your neck of the woods, Dave and Adina? You're the Inspiration by Chicago.
That one didn't bother me too much.
Yeah, I kind of liked Chicago.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
I think that song's pretty dreadful. It's just like
not their best song, mind you. Yeah.
It's like one key change after another, singing the same chorus, and it's like, stop. Make it stop.
I guess when I heard it, I never really listened to it,
That one's not as bad as Color My World by Chicago. That one's even worse.
Yes.
That's like somebody just learning how to play the piano. One of the first songs they learned,
Yes. So any other love songs that we love to hate?
Oh, yeah. Well, Muskrat Love by Captain and Tennille. So that one just sucked. Just why?
Muskrat Love.
Muskrat
Love.
Why? Why?
What does that even mean?
Yeah.
What is Muskrat Love?
Why did you even do that song?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what that is. I'm not even going to conjecture here because it's a family show, sort of. But we're not getting in. No, that's a terrible song.
If nobody's heard that, don't even look it up. Don't even listen to it. It's bad.
No. bad. Okay. A lot of people like this song, "My Heart Will Go On" by Celine Dion. Where do we come down on that? Are we sick of it? Yeah. Drew's sick of it. Adina's sick of it.
Yeah.
Dave's kind of on the fence, I think.
Yeah, I'm on the fence.
All right. Well,
I don't think he's actually heard it as much.
Yeah, I haven't heard it too much.
What stuff I listen to, probably they play it more. And
there's a big Celine Dion renaissance going on TikTok right now. I don't know if any of you are doing the TikTok thing.
No.
But it is everywhere.
Really?
Yeah, you can't be on it for 5 minutes and not hear a Celine Dion song.
Well, I'm glad I'm not on TikTok then.
Yeah. I'm good.
For real. I'm good.
Good choice by me. Okay. So, all right, let me ask you this. We talked a little about, do you do mixtapes? Do you have your song? Do you do any kind of romantic playlists? Hey, we're having a quiet dinner at home together, so I'm going to put some music on in the background, or other things. Do you have any songs that you would put on your romantic playlist that we haven't already talked about?
I have a funny story. We were in this wine group for a while, and we got selected one night to do a wine, taste the wine bottle, write a review of it. Well, this was during COVID shutdown, and I was just kind of going nuts being stuck at home by myself. Dave was going to work every day, and so we got this bottle of wine, and I opened it up, and it was a nice red wine. So, and we had to drink it that night to write the review.
Mm-hmm.
So I sent him a note and I said, honey, it's date night. So he came home and we had the bottle of this nice red wine, and I gotten some wild mushroom raviolis and, you know, a whole bunch of really good stuff. And he came home and the Barry White was playing.
There you go.
Hey, there it is.
Yeah.
And we had the funniest write-up about this wine. I mean, it was all kind of tongue-in-cheek stuff. And one of the comments on there was, I really want to drink with these people.
and they should. They should.
Right.
Yeah.
I've only known you for a few months, and I think this is the first time we've talked, you know, just in a smaller setting like this. I would like to drink with you as well. I'm all about it.
Same.
I gotta say, a lot of dinners, you know, on the weekends or something. You know, we've got Amazon Echoes around the house, you know, for music, and we'll throw on Spotify, and a lot of times we'll throw on the Traveling Wilburys.
Mm-hmm.
We'll throw on Tom Petty, Let It Roll, you know, or you know, select an artist like that and listen to it while we're having dinner.
Yep, that's a good one.
Yep.
Sometimes good bluegrass, you know, it varies.
Van Morrison.
Van Morrison occasionally.
Van Morrison, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Moondance is a good one too for a love song.
Moondance is a good love song. That is that's a lot of fun. Yeah. Drew, what do you got?
Yeah, I mean, I've mentioned these artists already, but I think the one song that I would always put on a playlist is the Louis and Ella version of La Vie en Rose. I love that one. Just beautiful melody. The key changes are perfect. Their harmonies are amazing. Anything from any record that they've made together or put out a track together would be on my list for that. But that song in particular, I think is just perfect for a candlelight dinner at home, bottle of wine, you know, good pasta, something like that. Can't go wrong there.
Okay. Now you're a big John Mayer fan.
I am.
So if there's one John Mayer song that that you need to have on your romantic playlist, what is it?
Man, that's tough because he doesn't really write love songs. There's not a lot of those in his repertoire. I'm trying to think back to some of the earlier stuff. You might have stumped me on that one. Do you have an answer for it?
Well, I know that there are two that I have on playlist, and one is Gravity.
Yeah.
And the other is Slow Dancing in a Burning Room.
Yes.
And while they may not necessarily fit lyrically, they certainly fit in terms of musically and in terms of the kind of mood of the song.
No, those are both great tunes. I guess I was going back and looking at his discography here. He's got a song on the new record, Sob Rock, called All I Want Is to Be With You. That's pretty good. That's a good love song. He had one on The Search for Everything called You're Gonna Live Forever in Me.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more of a breakup song, like a reflection on lost love kind of a thing.
Yeah.
It's not a breakup song. It's just that he's missing this person he used to be with kind of a thing. But both of those, I guess, I would throw on there too.
Dave and Adina, John Mayer, yes or no?
Not too familiar.
No, I mean, I've heard of some of his stuff on the radio, but I haven't really.
Not in my wheelhouse usually.
But I would definitely be interested in listening to some of that.
Yeah, I think you can go with the his debut album and Continuum, which he won, like 800 Grammys for. Not that winning
the
a
Live
Grammy.
in LA album.
Yeah,
is the perfect mix-up because he's got all three iterations of what he does on that one.
Yeah, that is a great album. Absolutely. What about Norah Jones? You familiar with Norah Jones?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Yep.
Her recording of The Nearness of You is on my Valentine's playlist as we speak. It's very good.
Good choice.
Yeah.
The Nearness of You and Turn Me On are classic Valentine's playlist songs.
Mhm.
Just got to do it. Sade, what we think about?
Another beautiful voice.
Mhm.
That just, she's got to be the analog to, Luther Vandross or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I mean, just smooth, beautiful voice.
Is there a somebody that you would say, okay, they've got the sexiest voice in music?
Besides,
Living or dead?
Doesn't matter.
Thank you, Adina. I caught that. Appreciate it.
What did she say?
except besides Drew.
I figured Dave would say, you mean besides Adina?
No, you don't want Adina
No,
to sing.
I can't
No,
sing.
no. Barry White.
Yeah.
Barry White. Gotta be the king.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go with Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
pure silk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was beautiful.
Kevin, what do you think?
I don't know. I asked the question and I don't know that I have a really good answer.
You're gonna get a lot of people to say somebody like Usher.
Usher.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Well,
I mean, I think somebody like Sting kind of can fit that mold. I think it just kind of depends on the song. There's some Rihanna songs that that really hits. I don't know, but I think that those are a couple of good ones. Seal.
Yeah.
There's a song he does called "Waiting for You." If you've not heard it, you need to look it up. It kicks. So,
what about Annie Lennox?
Oh yeah.
Girl
Oh,
mix.
man.
yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Love Annie Lennox.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Dave and I were having quite a conversation today about is "Free Falling" by Tom Petty a love song?
Mm.
And it can go both ways. I mean, the beginning of it is kind of dark and creepy and stuff, but the whole idea is of, are you free falling in love with someone?
Could be.
Even though it's kind of this awkward beginning. And so that was I stumped the host.
Oh, that's no, I've always kind of interpreted that as being a song about not making the commitment to the girl that loves him.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've never really thought of it as being a love song in the good way.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of love lost songs or wanting or,
Sure.
things like that. There's a ton of those. I don't know. That one's kind of bordering there, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Here's one that I just thought of. "Fool in the Rain" by Led Zeppelin. I think that is one of their most underrated songs, and I think it tells a great love story in the lyrics. He's trying to find the girl that's the love of his life, and he's supposed to meet her, and he's out in the pouring rain, and then she doesn't show up, and then he figures out, I'm the fool waiting on the wrong block. And I think that's a great love song.
Yeah.
So
And the drum track in that song too. Just think about the drum track.
Yes.
The syncopated, just, oh man.
Yes. And a police whistle in the middle. Yeah. Okay. Yes, we could go pretty deep in the Led Zeppelin.
Easily.
Yeah. But okay, Not to drag things out too much, Robert Plant, some of his solo work.
Mhm.
Big Log is a sexy song. Okay. The title of it I don't really care for, but but that one, in the mood for a melody, great love songs. And we already talked about the Sea of Love with the Honey Drippers, but he may be, depending on what he's singing, he could be sexiest voice in music.
He's got a great one, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of him, put him together with Alison Krauss.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What a combo.
Yep.
Wow.
We talked about them a little bit ago.
Yeah, then put her by herself and just talk about a beautiful voice there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she might be the most beautiful voice in music.
Yeah, it's up there.
Yeah, it's tough to beat.
Hard to read that one.
I think a lot of people would say Adele because of the popularity of it, but most of her songs are breakup songs, other than the Dylan cover.
Yeah.
But, okay, and Drew would never say that Bob Dylan is the sexiest voice in music. So
I don't think anyone would.
I don't think anybody's going to argue that one.
No, I don't think so either.
If I'm trying to shut it down for the night, maybe I'll put on Bob Dylan.
All right. Anything else on love songs tonight, guys?
This has just been super fun, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we'll have a great playlist for this. So this show will come out. Usually our shows drop on Wednesdays. This one will come out on Monday, the 14th, Valentine's Day, first thing in the morning, and we'll have a playlist with it. So if you're having a nice romantic dinner at home, just click on the playlist. I promise I won't put on there the songs that we hated. We'll put on there the songs that we liked, and songs that will set a wonderful mood for you and the love of your life. So, or maybe someone that you hope will be the love of your life. Is it swipe right? Is that what we want?
We swipe right. Yep.
Okay. All right. So if you swipe right on somebody, we'll have a playlist for you to win their heart. But all right. We're going to wrap up side B of this thing. And it has been a lot of fun. So as we're starting to wrap things up, Drew, tell them about next week's show, which we're not really sure what next week's show will be yet. But
yeah, either way, we're gonna have a great show for you next week. It could go a couple of different ways. We're waiting to hear back on some scheduling things. Hopefully, we can have our lovely co-host Benjamin back with us, and whatever it is we end up deciding to do, I'm sure you will love it. So make sure to tune in and check that out.
Yeah, Ben just didn't want me to sing "Endless Love" to him tonight, so he didn't show up. So, all right. So, Dave and Adina, tell folks where they can find you on social media.
You can find me and my cocktails on Instagram at Adina Ewaldz. That's ADINA EWALDZ.
I'm on Instagram with my cocktails. Full Bean Group, FULLBEANGROUP.
All right. I've always wanted to ask you this. What does that mean?
Long story.
Okay.
Long story.
So when you guys come down and we're doing our cocktail party, you can tell that long story, and that will satisfy my curiosity.
Not a problem.
All right. Drew, where are you on social, sir?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at drew.crawley63 and Twitter at drewcrawley63.
Yeah. And everybody needs to stream Tower Songs on wherever you listen to music. Stream Tower Songs. You will love it. You'll just love it. Drew Crawley, sexiest voice in music.
Adina Ewaldz said so.
Yeah,
yes.
I thought so.
Yeah, so be it.
What else do you want? What else do you want? And please just like, share, subscribe, like Mike told you to at the beginning of the show. But you can find us on Bourbon Turntable on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and YouTube. You can watch the shows on YouTube. You can listen to the shows now on your favorite podcast platform as well. And as always, we have a playlist that is inspired by the show for the evening. This playlist will be really, really good, and may help you out a little bit if you know what I mean. But I've finished my cocktail, so I don't have anything to cheers with. That's poor planning on my part.
I'm done.
But put a little water in there and get it going a little bit. All right. So on behalf of Drew, Benjamin, out of sight but not out of mind, and the Ewaldz, Dave and Adina, thank you so much for joining us. Cheers, love, and free bird.
Free bird.
Good night, everybody.